Make it make sense. Could somebody please make it make sense?
Big Mims.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Y'all, I'm hot. This episode has me hot. It's already not been a great day, but this episode has me extremely mad. Like, I am so hot with the green-eyed goblins. I can't take it. Like, I literally cannot. Oh my God. From beginning to end. I know I didn't give you guys a review last week. Let's start here. The room situation. Why would anybody care where Giselle and Robin slept? Given the opportunity to pay for a room, y'all choose to bunk up. Andy's baby shower was absolutely on each housewife to pay. And y'all's raggedy behinds opted not to. Y'all shared one room and one bed. You couldn't even get double beds. So no, we're not going to put you guys in a separate room because you can't afford a separate room to begin with. Hey, crazy homebody girl, welcome. I'm sorry that you came on a night when I'm mad. I'm sorry. Y'all welcome, crazy homebody girl. I'm just like, y'all, this one got me so angry from beginning to end. Sharice, we know you don't have money like you used to have. You live in a townhome. Like... oh my God, I need to go stay at the Ritz-Carlton. You don't got Ritz-Carlton money. You're like the rest of us. You need to go to the La Quinta Inn. That's what you can afford these days. You don't have Eddie's money. Like, what are we... Y'all, this is a double. Just FYI. This is a double. Moving on. Because none of them deserve room. I can say for Sharice, I can understand you want an ensuite, but you don't have it. And these girls don't have the budget for it. This wouldn't happen on another show because other girls would say, I'm not sleeping here. It wouldn't even be a thing. I don't even like Diana Jenkins. But when she didn't want to be with them, she said, I have my own room. I'll film and I'll go to my own room. That's all it takes. All this extra that you got going... Bringing Patricia Thomas on? Like, y'all, what is happening? Like, literally, what is happening on this show? I know I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but I'm not crazy for saying this about this show. I digress. The home was nice enough, but there is something to be said about the fact that the Potomac girls are always having to bunk up. And it's because y'all are thrifty. In real life, you all are thrifty. So you don't need to try to go and put on any airs when Bravo is picking up the check. Just FYI. And Colby, if you're in here, you're going to be mad because I will be giving it to the Green-Eyed Goblin. She's going to get it tonight. Just FYI, she's going to get it. And she deserves every bit of it. I have some... Okay. Karen does not see it for Sharice even a little bit. And now I'm with her. If Sharice would have played her part, sided with Robin and them, but understood that you have to maintain friendships with the other girls, but she has completely jumped to the other side. I have some behind the scenes tea. Thank you so much to one of my subscribers who sent me this. Apparently, the Golem, Michael Darby, made his way to Candace's performance and was asked to leave because he went there to bad talk Ashley. Like, in what world do you think that the enemy of my enemy is my friend? That's your wife. Why are you at a Candace event in the first place? Like, none of that makes sense. Absolutely none of that makes sense. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't even put this on. I got so hot, I forgot that I hadn't I hadn't finished the YouTube things. So we got Karen doesn't see it for Charisse because Charisse was on to something with Blue Eyes. That's why Karen does not see it and will never see it for Charisse. All the other things that all of the girls have said has not pissed her off like what that one comment that Charisse made about Blue Eyes. Y'all really think about that, because people have said a lot of horrible things. They have alleged, Giselle alleged that her husband had a thing for Erica Lyles, her friend, but nothing has really stuck with Karen like Charisse mentioning Blue Eyes. And that might have been like what, season 1 or season 2? Just keep y'all's eyes open for that, because she would not be that mad if there wasn't something to what Charisse was saying. And not that Charisse was right in saying it, but Karen, at this point, you don't have the ability to hire and fire people. So trying not to film, you look just as ridiculous as Robin and Giselle trying to ice Wendy out. It doesn't make any sense. And you guys, you can't even get a good enough Airbnb. Y'all need to focus on that as opposed to trying to ice people out. Y'all need all the help you can get. It's not like the ratings are that great. Y'all are getting a lot more flack for what's going on than y'all are getting praise and love. Just FYI. So let's see, 1 second. Peter. Now, Giselle is relaying a story about Peter, and she's basically saying that Peter didn't even know who Wendy was, and he couldn't remember her name, and Wendy is so broke. Come again? We're talking about Peter and Giselle calling other people broke. Is that clicking for anybody else but me? Peter and Giselle calling other people broke. So let's do the math here, y'all, because I got time today. Let's talk Peter. Let's start here. Peter said Peter was part owner of the Source Awards. That's what they said on the Source Awards was from 1994 to 2004. So that's one business that you don't have. Peter, back when Cynthia and Peter were still together, you might remember Bar One shutting down because the building went into foreclosure. When that happened, Cynthia supposedly loaned Peter $170,000 to help to secure a new location for the Atlanta nightclub. He had 36 months to make that happen, but he never did. So let's do the math. You want Wendy to give you $300,000 for one of your businesses that will inevitably fail. Peter at no point has come to any of these things with his own money. Everything that he has done has been with multiple investors in which he's the face of. At this point, his reputation is shot. Why would you even want to be the face? I do not blame Wendy for not wanting to go into business with this man. Everything he has closes. Everything he has closes. But let's move to the Green-Eyed Goblin. Now, you think that we forgot where you came from. You need to be reminded where you came from and where you currently are. Because to call Wendy a professor who's married to an attorney who's also on the same platform as you is broke is absolutely insane. These girls who do not have a real job but who live in barns have so much to say about other people who have multiple jobs and have real careers. Let's not forget your defunct business, Giselle. You were over there talking about business, and that's not how business works. Do you know how business works? You were the face of a beauty brand, but everything about you in terms of your exterior, outside of your looks, you are beautiful, but you're not a beauty brand. You thought that you could parlay a whole business out of just being on this show. If you were really into makeup and fashion and all those things, you might have a shot. But just being pretty and being on reality TV does not a business person make. And Every Hue is an example of that. So while you're talking about Wendy and her businesses, clean your own floor because it's dirty. Go ahead and sweep your own floor. It's dirty, it's defunct, it's liquidated, it's canceled, it's not in Target. But I'm not one to, throw somebody under the bus without also lifting them up. You can buy it on eBay. Used Every Hue Beauties on sale at eBay, $18.99, overpriced. I'm mad tonight. I am mad tonight. I'm so tired of the colorist talk because I do think that there's examples of colorism on this show. I'm so tired of them picking apart people's marriages and systematically trying to get them divorced because you are unhappy and you're wrinkling and men don't want you. Yes, I'm talking about the Green-Eyed Goblin. Yes, I am angry tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a rough day. I'm sorry. It's been a real rough day. And I'm just trying to keep it together. And I did not expect this show to get me this hot. Right. Yes, Giselle has a legacy and a pedigree. Her family owns an entire plantation museum. She built a mega church with her husband. She's pre-housewives with it. Y'all love to talk about her faults, of which there are many. I still love you though, Trent, but of which there are many. You built a mega church, but are you still part of it? Your family owns a plantation. What does that have to do with you though? Just saying. Y'all, this episode, I can't. Okay. I'm trying. We get to Mia and does a frog have a watertight asshole? What is that? Like, that's some stuff that Gordon said when you were drunk and you picked it up and decided that you would, like, that's just stupid. I'm sorry. And Peter and Gordon being good friends makes perfect sense to me. Everybody always talks about Todd using candy. Cynthia couldn't even afford liquor at her own wedding because Peter had spent all her money. You couldn't afford $2,000 for liquor at your own wedding. But you over here talking about Wendy? Wendy's not your problem. And in fact, now that I have access, I'm going to go look through all of the Atlanta and maybe North Carolina records to see exactly how many people Peter owes. Cool down. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm living in the past. They brought the past to the present. Not justice for Jacqueline. So Mia says that she's now siding with Karen because she understands exactly what everybody says about Charisse. But in all honesty, Karen is the lighter skinned version of Charisse. They both put on airs. They're both hoity-toity. They're both bougie for no reason. Like, they're the same character, but okay. But that's important to know because it comes back up. It comes back up in the when Wendy calls Mia out. Candace not having a bed. I don't like that this is now a running joke. Every cast member on this show should have, at the very least, a bed. I think that what Candace should do is walk in, see she doesn't have a bed, and say, okay, I'm gonna go get a room. I'll be right at the St. Regis. You guys let me know when it's time to film. Don't give them energy. They were trying to haze Wendy and Candace this entire episode. And Candace wasn't even there. Ashley running around, hiding the letter, looking at the letter. Like, how old are you? You're married to an 85-year-old multimillionaire and you have time to go run around? You need to be worried about why Michael thinks that he's babysitting his own kids as opposed to leave. You never should have left them kids that Michael did not want with Michael, period. but you worried about what Wendy and Candace got going on. Ashley missed me with that. We always have to talk about Robin pooping. Like every episode now, we got to hear about Robin pooping 2 times, Robin pooping in front of Juan. Y'all say that I give Robin a hard time, but I will say personally that I have found a picture. Everybody says that Robin and Juan, Rob the Builder is just Juan's good buddy and, all this kind of stuff. But I know for a fact that Robin and Juan still have like very passionate moments together. I even found a picture of them making out. Yes, don't be fooled. This is Robin with black hair. This is how Robin and Juan get it on. So y'all can't tell me that they are not passionate about each other. They clearly love each other. They have their own way of doing it. So shout out to Robin and Juan. They definitely are a very passionate couple. So y'all, we can't say nothing. We can't say the point is, Rob the Builder and Juan are a very passionate couple. Don't be fooled. I won't say anything disparaging about Rob the Builder on this particular show tonight. They're madly in love. I don't need to know that Robin walks around naked in front of her 14-year-old child and cleans her coochie in front of him. I do think that, you might walk in on a parent, but at a certain age, I know that there are nudists and naturists out there. At a certain age, you should probably just not do that. They say that once a child can identify private parts, it's best not to have them see adult private parts. I did read that in a book. I don't know. I got some parents in the house. Y'all let me know if you guys agree with that or not. But they said once a child can identify a certain body part, you should not have them see you nude. Just my opinion. Just what the book said. I'm not messy. I might be a little messy. I deserve to be. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Oh, y'all, we got about 400 people in here. Definitely hit the like button. It lets YouTube know that we are here. We are clowning. Thank you so much, Sassy Girl, for the super chat. If I missed any earlier, I'm sorry. I was on a tangent. They got me hot. My bad. Definitely, you guys. We got 400 in here. Let's try to get to about 250 likes. If one of my mods will let me know where we're at on likes, I would appreciate it. So I think we're at like 137. So yeah, y'all, let's definitely get the likes up. I went to Bar One in Miami and it was not open. I was in Miami earlier this year. It definitely was not open. And based on the crowd, it did not look crowded on that night. So Mia with the, we're family, we're this. I just love Peter. Why would Patricia need to be on this show this many times? Why would Patricia have beef with a woman? You know what it's like for business not to work out. You haven't paid most of the people. Sports One in Charlotte is, I believe, mostly owned by Cordell Stewart. So now that we even know that Wendy did respond to him and he's doing this for a storyline, I'm never here. Why are you here tonight? You're here tonight because your businesses need a boost from Bravo. That's why you're here. That's why you're giving them a storyline. Don't come for PD down low. Oh my God, this show is so frustrating. Giselle. Okay, let's see. It says Giselle makes up the butt, but Rob, this is what I don't want to talk about them. I really don't. Charisse picks a fight with Wendy at the table. If Charisse was smart, she would get along with just about everybody because that is what's going to get you back on the show. Just having this one-sided relationship with Robin and the Green-Eyed Goblin, it's not going to work for you. We don't even like them. So to pick a fight with Wendy for absolutely no reason, y'all know producers have them sit and ask questions. All she did was say whether it was coming from a good or a bad place. That's what a normal friend would say. I don't know what this woman wants from you, but it might be good, it might be bad. What's your thoughts? The fact that became an argument, Wendy could see where the night was going. She could see it. And I think us as the audience, we could feel it. We move on because then it becomes between Charisse and Karen. Karen basically does not want to have a conversation with this woman. The blue eye, we should try to get an interview with Blue Eyes. The blue eye comment really hit her. It probably really impacted her relationship with her husband. He might have already felt like something was going on because y'all remember a couple years later, he said he didn't even know if he was in love with Karen. So I give Karen a hard time, but in all honesty, Charisse doing that was pretty messed up. It was really messed up. I do give Karen a hard time, but I'm agreeing with her with that. You try to mess up my relationship, I don't owe you anything. Just saying. So now that we have moved on from the fight between Karen and Wendy, it just keeps progressing because Mia then jumps in to defend Charisse because it's clearly get Wendy night, especially now that she doesn't have any backup. I'm gonna get her at all costs. Wendy then calls her out and says, well, you said the same thing about Charisse. You said the exact same thing that we've all said about Charisse. She's bougie for no reason. And so this is where you start to see the cracks where Mia is starting to get bothered by her. And you know that Mia is just not a very smart person. She's not cerebral. Mia is the type that she does have a short fuse, kind of like Portia, because she can't take it too far with her words. And once she gets frustrated, she wants to pop off, like Rob the Builder. Charisse probably does know a lot about Karen, and that's why Karen doesn't want to give her life on the show. By the time Karen started singing herself happy birthday not to talk to Charisse, I was like, this is why Karen is a star of the show. She is not afraid for her wig to shift. She's not afraid to make herself look dumb to change the topic. And that's why we love we love Karen. Giselle really wants her to fix it with Charisse. But it's so funny, juxtapose that with them wanting Robin and Giselle to fix it with Wendy. So it's one of these things, do as I say, not as I do. Not as I do. Not look at the CEO. Guys, where are we on likes? We got about 450 people here. I'm asking to just get to about 250 likes. That lets YouTube know we're here. We're almost at 200 likes. Keep hitting that like button, you guys. I'm giving you guys a show. If you don't, I'm going to show you Robin and Juan again. Every time y'all don't do the likes, I'm going to show y'all what Robin and Juan look like when they make out. So y'all decide what you want. Robin and Juan or like the video. So Robin or Juan or like the video. We get into the meat and potatoes. Now, Patricia wants a moment. I'm mad with Wendy, but you're in her face. I don't want Wendy you have Wendy in my space. You need every customer you could get before this one closes down. I think it's very funny that Wendy is trying to school somebody. I'm sorry, Mia is trying to school somebody on business. I already let you guys know that she's been fired from the company. But here's the deal. You're over there asking Wendy, well, you're a professor and now you're selling candles. You need to decide what you're going to do. Well, you were selling ass and now you are doing joint chiropractic, or you were doing joint chiropractic until they decided they didn't have to pay you a salary to do nothing. She's over there saying that she's the only Black woman in the boardroom. We found out that there were multiple other women from the family who were just as integral to the business as Mia. So all this stuff about Mia being the boss and I'm this, I'm that. Your little $400,000 salary lasted 1 week after they made the decision to fire you. And now you and Gordon are renting that house in Potomac that you probably can't even afford now. But you have so much to say about a successful professor who's married to a successful lawyer. You have so much to say about these people. Y'all consistently call this woman broke and degrade her. But Giselle couldn't keep her business open, and Robin is selling them beauty supply hats. Karen is the only one in Nordstrom's, and Ashley secured her bag with 2 babies. So what are we doing? And we got Candace, who's actually at the American Music Awards, and actually at the Soul Train Awards, and actually at the Grammy parties and at the Grammys. So y'all just do the math. Mia consistently kept telling Wendy that Peter has beef with her. And again, I'm with Wendy. Why are you telling me that some man has beef with me? The only man I'm concerned about is her husband. But because Wendy would not give Mia what she wanted from that conversation, she just kept on digging. She kept on digging. And you dig till you got Wendy eating you alive. Let's see. Wendy says she doesn't have beef with men. Mia then starts going left, talking about she could be your mentee. That's when Giselle chimes in, talking about this is business. Giselle, ma'am, every time Giselle wants to talk about something being business, let's just remind her about Every Hue. You don't know business. Business is not your priority. It's not. Your clothes, Robin is your priority. Your Bravo check is your priority. After Bravo, Wendy, well, I don't know Wendy because you mentioned John Hopkins and they did a disclaimer. So that was not the smartest move. But Wendy will probably have a job as a professor after this. Giselle, good luck. Good luck. Robin is also making all these faces the whole time. I can't. I'm the only black female in the boardroom. That did not age well, Mia. We now know that you're fired. Then we get Mia actually throwing the drink on Wendy. Now, Wendy took this pretty well. I don't think that I would have been able to sit there while somebody physically accosted me. I do fight. And if I can't get to you, I'm going to at least throw whatever you threw at me, I'm going to throw at you. Let's start there. I don't know if y'all really clocked this, but Robin was smirking. I tried my best to get pictures, but she was smirking with that happening to Wendy. And technically, Wendy, I do think that you started going in on Gordon after Mia threw the drink on you. After you throw a drink on me, it's all fair. When Mia is losing it. Mia is acting like Wendy just picked up some of her ones from her performance. That's what she was acting like. Like Wendy stuffed some of her ones into her black trash bag when the night was over, and she was going to bust her ass. That's just what it was. We got like 500 people in here. Guys, I think we could get to 300 likes. I think we're giving y'all a show tonight. 300 likes is doable. We're at 225. Let's keep it up, guys. I'm definitely Team Wendy on this. I saw in a lot of message boards already, people are saying that Wendy was out of line. But I think in this situation, if you're not with the Green-Eyed Goblins, then you're out. Everything that you do and say will not be good enough because they're only concerned with each other. It's very similar to the Fox Force 5. And now we got Charisse in the mix. Nobody said or did anything while this woman was being accosted. They just sat there. And Robin consistently kept saying, you're antagonizing her. I'm sorry. You're antagonizing her. Why are you antagonizing her? I know I'm not crazy here. The fight started with Mia going in on Wendy's business with Peter. That, my friends, is the definition of antagonizing somebody. Peter didn't say that to Wendy. Peter said that on camera, or I'm sorry, Patricia said that on camera to Mia. Mia decided that this was going to be her storyline and this was going to be the way that she poked and prodded this woman. And she didn't realize that she was going to unleash the beast with Wendy. So after Mia leaves, you got Rob the Builder saying that Rob is now filming this saying that we can't miss anything. We don't want you to change the story. It's on camera. There's a camera crew and there is security guards everywhere. What are you doing? I don't even think you're supposed to film during one of these shows. But Robin and Giselle feel like nobody can touch them. Rob is now telling Wendy that she should fight. Well, go ahead. If you're going to talk this much, you need to fight. So now we're not anti-violence. And so Giselle was wearing my nerves out. Everything that she was saying under her breath. I don't know how Wendy held her composure for as long as she did. Wendy started going in on Mia after the drink was thrown, and especially after she hit her with that purse. Once she hit this girl with the purse, now, what are you doing? Are you stretching, Wendy? You better catch that purse. Like, what, Wendy, what were you doing? That's how this woman could have grabbed your hair. You never turn your back on somebody that's about to fight. Wendy did not want to get hit with that purse. And then you got Mia over here, literally. Now, Mia is as big as the security guard, and she's tussling with her friend because she just wants to fight that bad. Y'all, this was so funny. This reminded me of Jennifer from Basketball Wives fighting Evelyn's assistant when they were kind of fight dancing. Tamara says, I don't have to like Wendy to acknowledge their mistreatment and disrespect towards her. They are colorist, jealous, ignorant, better Bettys. I'm with you. It is apparent. And the more that thank you so much for the super chat, Tamara. The more that they hate on this woman, the more that she's going to become fan favorite. Period. Her and Candace are moving up in the ranks the more that they hate. Wendy starts saying that Mia is effing Peter. Now, I do not believe that Wendy is effing Peter at all. I don't believe that he has the money for Mia, but, at this point, she's just throwing anything out there. Mia is saying that she wants to leave. She's embarrassed, and she should be. Robin decides to leave. Y'all, what was Robin wearing? I forgot to mention that. What was Robin wearing? Like, what were any of these women wearing? It looked like Ashley went shopping in Mia's closet. Mia always wears this. It's always going to be just a little too tight or a little too short. I'm telling you, Mia is kind of draggish to me. She could definitely be a guest host on RuPaul's Drag Race. Not saying she's a drag queen. I'm just saying everything that she does is very much draggish. It's like I don't know. Y'all can put in the chat if you agree or not. I think that she is very draggish. Not a drag queen, just draggish. All of her stuff is extra. Robin's dress was cute. Okay. I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. Ashley, no panties, Darby. Yeah, and Ashley over there talking about she didn't want to be, what did she say? She didn't want any moisture or leakage. If you got moisture and leakage, put some drawers on. If you feel like there's going to be a puddle of something when you get up from the seat, put some drawers on. You need some drawers now. Just saying. Y'all, when Mia was outside saying that she was ready to go, am I the only one who got Khloe Kardashian from her hands? Mia has some ginormous Tales from the Crypt hands. I don't know what that's about, but I was getting Khloe Kardashian. Definitely getting Khloe Kardashian from her. Not draggish. Yeah, just a little draggish. Mia does give off drag. Completely trash. Ashley is gross. Okay, so y'all are my people. Now we got Ashley basically saying that she does not agree with them trying to hit Wendy or throwing drinks on Wendy. Karen is kind of agreeing. Karen then already got eaten up because she did not immediately agree with Mia, which is kind of messed up. But now we got Wendy, who now Wendy, I love you, but you ain't gonna beat nobody up. You didn't get up until the security was there. You are not about that life. You do not have to be about that life. You don't need to put on this act for us. We are standing with you in this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. Anybody can come up. We got a pretty packed house, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a revolving panel today. Like I said, anybody can come up. We got a full house. I can't wait till Candace gets there because then Wendy will really have some backup. I think that Karen is a friend to Wendy, but she's not going to do what Candace would do. I feel like in this situation, everybody should have stood with Wendy when it came to physical violence multiple times on this woman. But instead, y'all are baiting her to fight. And the last thing that Wendy said, and it was so poignant, was, I thought you were anti-violence. When it came to Monique, you were anti-violence. Now you're saying you understand why this woman physically assaulted me. And of course, Giselle had nothing for that. These women are just trash. So yeah, we're going to do a revolving panel because the backstage is already filling up. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Kai.
Hi. Hi, Kai.
Hi. I missed you. Lisa, how was it?
Oh, thank you. I know it has been a minute. I'm trying. I'm trying to give all kinds of content.
I know. I'm catching up on yours.
And work. So, Lisa, let's start with you. What were your thoughts on this episode?
Trash.
I see the backstage has already filled up. Like I said, I'm going to revolve the panel. So give me a minute, and I'll revolve it, and I'll drop the link again for the people who are clicking the link for backstage. So what was trash? What did you think about the fight? Because that's the meat and potatoes.
It's just like, okay, should we, girl? Karen don't like you. Move on. Let's move on. She don't want to deal with you. She don't want to like you. She don't want to mess with you, child. Okay, we get it. Like you begging her. Why are you begging Karen? You supposed, like Robin said, you supposed to be the grand dame of Potomac. Do you ever see Karen mind up begging somebody to love her, like her? Oh, hell no. She moves
Wait,
the
who
hell
did you say first? Who's begging who?
You said what?
Who's begging who, Lisa?
I'm just saying, like Karen is not begging nobody to like her. Okay? Cherie's of him begging Karen to like her. Let's go to lunch. She'll always say, and when somebody give you that kind of energy, you supposed to move on.
I'm with you.
Move on. I'm tired. Draw my bridge. I'm tired and I'm over it. Mm-hmm. Now again with Mia put her nose in something that had nothing to do with her. Why you all in their business?
Her nose and that big tail from the Crip
He ain't got no beef with me. Because Peter didn't say he had no beef with her. That's Mia put the word beef in there. He told her what happened. He didn't say he had no problem. He didn't say he had no beef with her. That's Mia doing it. I've been told y'all, I did not like Mia when she first came on the show. The bitch thinks she all of that, and you ain't none of that, baby doll, with them hoes melt face, okay? Go sit down somewhere, okay? Because I'm over you too. And I don't know why Robin and Giselle, I don't know why Robin is so entitled over Wendy. Girl, it wasn't that big a deal. People have said more. Kevin has said more about you than Wendy did. Okay? Kevin called you a dizzy bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I love that read.
It was good.
Okay, Lisa. Well, we got a revolving panel tonight. Thank you so much for calling in.
You put me backstage. You want me to?
Not a dizzy bitch. I love that.
You did say that. Don't y'all remember they went to the cabin?
I remember. I liked it.
Yeah, and she said, "Girl," and Rob didn't even not read Kevin like that. Rob didn't even not get mad. She said, "I hate to use that word, bitch. Don't why you doing that."
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I'ma see you. What's up, Kai? Where are you at with it?
I thought this whole episode was a setup. Because obviously we saw Mia talking to Peter, and then she came out, and then Giselle and Ashley had their little chit chat, and I can't remember if it was Ashley or Giselle saying, "Oh, does Wendy know we're going to Peter's restaurant?" And then for Mia to turn around and pick a fight about Wendy not telling Peter that she was coming there, when I'm like, well, you intentionally did not tell her that you all were coming to the restaurant, and you did not tell her that he was there. Like, that was just so strange that she went and was picking that fight. And you saw her pick the fight earlier with Wendy, Charisse, and Karen, because she interjected herself. Charisse was talking, Wendy was talking to Charisse, and then Mia, Wendy. And then she responded. And then I guess because that died down, she had to pick something else up. It was just very strange. And to me, everyone has their own ideology, but I would think it's strange that you're picking a fight with me over me not saying hi to someone I'm thinking about doing business with when I didn't know we were coming to his restaurant. I didn't know that he was in the state. And then when I say if he has beef, he needs to talk to my husband. And also, I don't need to keep this man updated on where I'm at. The only person I can do that with is my husband. Right. And Karen says the same kind of things too. So to me, I can understand her having that logic because other women on that show have that same kind of logic. So you were talking about my husband. No, I started talking about your husband and you're behind after you went and thought you could throw a drink on me. Well, you've been trying to pick a fight with me this entire evening. And some people don't agree with this, but I think my peak, because I was triggered, my peak trigger is when Robin whipped out her phone and turned on the flash and had it pointed towards Wendy, saying she's antagonistic and talking about if you're gonna fight and all of that, and it won't be he said, she said. Well, there are cameras around, and obviously because now this show has security because it didn't have security beforehand. Now that it has security stepped in.
Putting umbrellas up to people's throats, or when she was physically going into somebody's place of business, threatening to whip their ass. There was no security back then.
Yeah, there hasn't been any security. So security is now on the show, obviously after season 5, and that has already been solved. So why are you pulling out your phone? There won't be no. He said she wanted, and I guess people didn't want to like this, but it was like she was in trying to promote her to get more engaged with the fight, while she's also recorded it to have proof that Wendy was out of control when they start talking about it after. That's what it felt like to me. I'm gonna whip out this phone and start, yeah. And that way I can catch her on the phone, and that way it will be something I can control, because obviously they can't really control production filming and pulling tape and being able to review it together as a group. So I'm gonna have this taping of my own. That way when we discuss it, I can whip it out. It really rubbed me the wrong way, and the fact that Robin was like, "Oh my God, you won, Wendy." I'm like, I wasn't even talking to this woman. She came back. Mia came back to that table, and Wendy was silent, eating her food. And I also gaslighting her. Ashley and that whole Candace with a chip on her shoulder a little bit. Ma'am, you said that she doesn't like you talking about things in the group, and you turned around and talked about things in the group. So yes, she has an issue with you. It's not a chip on her shoulder. And I feel like people want to be like, is it colorism when we do X, Y, and Z? It is nuance. You can be best friends with someone who's dark skinned, and they can be the exception to the rule. You can hold people to different regards and that kind of stuff. It is colorism, because for me right now, it's okay because the person who's doing the violence looks a certain way. So I know because we're rotating tonight, so that's my piece for now.
I don't disagree with anything that you said. They sat there and they gaslit that woman, and even with her being gaslit, she knew, I can't cross the line of physical violence, but what I can do is tear you up and make you want to beat me up so that you look crazy. And even with that, and the peanut gallery consistently talking under their breath, going at her, Wendy held her composure. So I'm giving it to Wendy, except for she don't need to pretend like she's about to whip anybody's ass, because that's not even you, Wendy. But okay,
But
guys, thank you so much. Yeah, the backstage is packed, so I'm gonna go ahead and try this new thing of rotating. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Mick,
It's
is it
Mika.
Mika?
Mika. Well, it's
Okay,
Shamika.
well, hey, welcome to the channel. I know this is your first time up.
Yeah, it's my first time up on the panel, and I want to thank you. I love Make It Make Sense. I have you on notification to watch you whenever you come on. I'm very supportive. But I do want to jump right into the mix because I know you said we got a pat background. So I feel like Mia did the whole Peter situation because she ain't have no storyline. None of them light skinned bitches have no storyline, so that was her storyline for the show. Secondly, Sharice, she don't know if she ping ponging here or there. You sitting down hee hawing with Wendy, the other dark skinned bitch on the show, girl. You know you dark skinned too. At the end of the day, them light skinned bitches are gonna switch
Hold
up
on.
on your dark.
Let's say B words because they will demonetize me if I got too
sorry.
much cursing.
Sorry. Yes, but yes, you got to remember you're a dark skinned girl too, Sharice. You know, them light skinned girls are liable to turn on you at any time. And who knows if they're going to be back next season? Because in the middle of the episode, I was so upset about that drink being poured on Wendy. I immediately went to Twitter to write Andy how upset I was. Because, yes, no, it's too much going out here in the world. Us dark skinned girls are getting killed by the minute. We're getting laid off, pushed in our job positions and certain positions we don't like because it's hard out here. They will pick a white or light skinned girl over us. And if Bravo don't see the damage that these light skinned girls are doing to the dark skinned girls on this TV show, ruining their show because so many people are complaining, it's about to be a blackout. It doesn't make no sense for Robin to be that spiteful. It doesn't make that sense for Giselle to still be on the show with no storyline. Them kids are getting older, girl. It's time to either get a man or get a new platform because I'm tired of seeing your old wrinkly stuff on this show. And Sharice, can you fix yourself up? Can you stop looking like the oldest woman in the whole group? You look like a whole grandma with that nana on. Okay, girl. And Robin, what did she think she was going on with that ugly dress? I don't care what nobody say. That dress was hideous. She can't dress. Giselle ain't never got no good wig. Ashley, can you do something with your hair? That's probably why you can't keep no man. You look a hot ass mess. You don't know if you want to be cute or slutty. Pick a side, girl. You know, I understand you trying to sleep with any which white man that will take you right now because that's all you think you can get. But girl, go to the dark side. I need you to get some flavor in your life because you acting a little too white and your mama too black for you to be that white. And Mia, oh my God, can you stop paying these doctors to mess up your face? Because I mean, oh my God, girl, even with makeup, your face look ugly. Like all them craters and bumps on your face. Like who in the world will pay that much money to look that ugly? Like I'm not understanding this. Like you are giving me Chloe vibes with them skeleton hands and your mannish feet. And I know that butt is so lopsided because when you were doing the hacky sack, it wasn't looking straight. No type of way. I'm just saying.
You saying she got a Carly Red booty? Oh my God.
She got a Carly Red booty.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So people, House of Princess says you can come to her channel and curse anytime. There's apparently the people are living for your read.
Oh, they do. I was on another channel earlier. I was in Gangland earlier. Like I was on the panel for hours. I think a lot of them know me from there. Like I don't have no problem speaking my mind. I find facts. I will fight. I'm an advocate for people. I'm an advocate for not only my dark-skinned women, but I'm an advocate for my Hispanic women because they're overlooked as well. I'm half Hispanic. I also look out for my Asian community because my daughter's half Asian. Like, I'm very supportive. It's not like I hate light-skinned women because my daughter is light-skinned. Don't get it twisted. I just don't like these light-skinned women. That is a very big difference. It's just the way that they're saying, like, oh, Wendy's doing all this, but what are y'all behavior is? Like, Giselle, you were whining and crying to get Monique off the show. But all of a sudden, when Mia throws that drink, oh, it's okay because you don't like Wendy. No, it's not acceptable at any time. You know, it would have been more acceptable if Wendy went upside all y'all heads. I would have found that quite funny and okay.
Let me ask you this, because I think I am gonna do a separate show on colorism, because I think there are so many nuances with the topic, and I think that lately, as I've been listening to a lot of other people cover it, certain people feel as though it's becoming a light skin versus dark skin like war. And I'm never here for that. I'm always about trying to bridge the gap. So you're talking specifically about things that you feel you've seen on the show, not light-skinned people as a whole, right?
I'm gonna put it this way. So I noticed as a community, and this is all around, I'm not gonna lie to nobody. So in the most recent years, I've seen light-skinned guys get overlooked for more darker-skinned guys, because in the community, girls will pick darker-skinned guys over light-skinned guys. So that has pushed them out the way. So in the business world, I work for a corporation that I feel like they treat us like we're on a slave farm. Like, we do our best, but they still treat us like it's the 1950s. They give us roles that they wouldn't give our white or light-skinned counterparts. You know what I mean? But I fight through that. But I'm just saying, it's 2022. We should be past these moments of dark-skinned girls feeling like they're overlooked.
Yeah, we're not on school days. I get it. In fact, DM me at Make It Make Sense Now on Instagram.
Okay.
I think I will do the colorist show, and I'll see if I can pull Brooke Ashley into it. She's a beautiful chocolate woman, maybe Nikki Star TV. One of my friends, he's biracial. I would like to hear his point of view, because I've seen there is a biracial content creator who has a lot to say on the subject too. I'll reach out to her and see if she can join. But I will try to do a panel discussion on colorism as a whole and as it relates to Potomac. But thank you so much. DM me, Make It Make Sense Now. Just let me know that you were the one that read down on my Potomac review. And I'll see if I can have you come up on that live, because it seems like you have a lot of insight into that.
Yes, I will definitely DM you after I get off of here, so that way I can join that panel for that. I can't wait. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for coming up. Hey, Q, where are you at with this episode?
So I'm gonna keep it clean, because this is your channel. Because on my channel, I lit their asses up. So my energy and focus is really on Roberto. I'm so sick of him always jumping into women's business. Every time Wendy going at it with somebody, here come Rob jumping up doing the most, all because you got your feelings hurt last season because you talked about the relationship that doesn't exist. You and Juan not getting married. Juan get ready to lose his job down here at Coppin. So you need to stay on this show to make the little bit of money that you're making. Them hats at 7-Eleven, they're not selling. Every time Giselle got an issue with somebody, her. Say that again. Every time Giselle got an issue with somebody, Roberto got an issue with somebody. It can never be, you got your problems, I'm gonna have my problems separately. You ain't really got no reason to have no beef with Wendy the way that you have a beef with Wendy. Like, it's ridiculous. And I agree with Wendy. Y'all had all this energy for Monique. We don't want to be around Monique. She's dangerous. She's this. Giselle brought security to the reunion. Well, fake security to the reunion because you thought you were going to be attacked. But then Wendy get a drink thrown at her, and you sitting there. Well, the boss did throw a drink on you. She did do this. She did do that. But where was the same energy at? Like,
I'm with you.
Where was no, Mia, you was wrong for throwing a drink on her. The problem that the reason Mia threw the drink is, and I get it because I'm somebody, I don't want to keep hearing your mouth. After a while, I'm gonna want to fight. It's as simple as that. Wendy and Candace like to read and like to run their mouth. Cool, it is what it is. But Mia was dead ass wrong for throwing that drink on her. And I agree with everything that Wendy did and said at the end. I love when Wendy was like, they go to CEO acting a fool, they go to CEO acting a fool. Like, I love all of that. And I agree with Karen. They both were in the wrong, but it's this, I don't know what it is, but it's this, hatred. I don't want to say hatred, but this strong dislike between this strong dislike against Wendy. I am not the biggest Wendy fan, and now she's grown on me, just like Candace has grown on me because I couldn't stand Candace at first. But I don't understand the dislike that they have towards her. Like, I don't understand it. Mia was just doing the most. Patricia, I guess, because he ain't down in Atlanta no more, so he got to come to the other black show. That ain't nobody, nobody care for him.
He needs Bravo supporting his restaurant. He needs that.
Bar one down here in Baltimore, nobody's checking for it. Don't nobody go to it. So I don't know. I know this episode pissed me off, and it was more so Rob pissing me off and Sharice with one eye going that way and the other eye going that way, talking about she got secrets on Karen and this and that. It was just a mess. But I did not like when.
So you're alleging that Sharice has a wobbly eye?
Mims. One eye went the other way, the other eye went the other way.
Oh my God.
Go back and look at that confessional. Her eyes did not look at us. They were looking in the opposite directions.
I'm done, Q.
My last thing, I hate when people neither one of them really wanted to fight each other. But I hate that put your hand in my face one more time. Don't put your hand in my face one more time. Like Roberto said, either y'all gonna fight or y'all just gonna sit down and shut up. Like,
I do think that Wendy would have fought. I think
so
Wendy
too.
has had a fight. I was not joking. I've seen a fight where a girl picked up another girl's ones at the end of the night and a fight pursued. Fights like that happen at the club all the time. I could see her really wanting to get at Wendy.
Yeah, Mia was going to fight her. Mia ain't got no shame of her. Mia slept with the man on the beach and took him from her wife. Mia ain't got no shame of her. Wendy wasn't going to fight Mia, but Mia was going to fight Wendy. Now, Wendy probably would have tried to defend herself, but Mia was definitely going to fight Wendy.
Really quick, Burley09 says, Mims, please pull in a professor or someone with education and not just personal issues that further perpetuate the problem. We're talking about the colorism conversation. I don't know that I know any professors, but I mean, I could look into it. I think Kai is actually in school. I want to say Kai is in school for African American Studies. Kai, if you're still in the chat, you could tell me if I'm right or wrong on that. But I'm not opposed to pulling in a professional. Trey's wife 206. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Did you have anything else? Cue the content guy.
No, that's all I got. So I'll be interested to see how next week's episode or whenever the next episode comes on.
They didn't even give us a scene from the next, so I think it's probably going to be good.
I saw something online. They did like a preview for next one, and Robin is, as always, blaming Karen for not diffusing the situation. The same person that has the phone out recording. So
and gaslighting her. Thank you so much, Q. I really do appreciate it. As always, I enjoy your input.
All right.
Have a good one. Colby, what's up? Colby, don't come in here inciting violence.
I just got to keep it real and just give it from my opinion, and at the end of the day, like, I think that it's a lot of double standards going on. I mean, people can drag Robin, people can drag Mia, talk about her skin, talk about Robin's masculinity. But if you say something about Wendy, then you're a colorist. I mean, it's just an obvious double standard. And one of my issues with Wendy is that she was saying, Giselle was coming after families when she spread rumors about my husband. And even though Giselle said she didn't believe the rumors, we knew where it came from. But within the second breath, she went there and accused G of having threesomes with men and pretty much telling me that her husband is bisexual.
Colby, I know you just did not. Colby,
I mean, that's what she said.
She said you just proved my point about Giselle. We found out today that Giselle was lying about that boy actually feeling on somebody's ass. You have another.
Okay, let's not change the subject. Let's go back to what I was saying though, because you're trying to divert to get away from Wendy. Wendy was saying that Giselle was coming after black families, and she went ahead and attacked Mia's entire family. Mia has dark-skinned black children, the same color as Wendy's, and that was inappropriate. What she said about that man, and blew that up at the table, and that's why people don't like Wendy. Another thing,
after you throw
Mia
a drink
was being a little bit messy.
To say or do whatever I want to you. After you throw a drink on me and hit me with a purse, I can either choose to pop you or read you. And Wendy chose to read her.
But then don't try to pretend like you're classy, though. See, here's the difference between people who say they're classy and people who actually are. Garcelle would never. That's a real class act. The Haitian queen, that's a real queen right there. She would never lower herself. Oh, you and your husband have threesomes? Oh, bitch, crater face. Could you imagine our gracious Garcelle acting like that? Never. And but see, so
No.
don't ever compare Wendy to Garcelle again. Okay, and then moving on. Okay, okay, I just have to keep
I
it
didn't
real.
compare her to Garcelle.
I'm just saying in the past people have, she's not of Garcelle's caliber. Garcelle has grace and she don't even need the PhD. That's a real Haitian queen. And I'm black and I will give her that credit. She's a real class act. But moving on back to what I was saying, all the colorism issues that keep coming up, America is the one place where the blackest African in the entire world can come here and be successful. This year, I was in Russia, I was in Mexico, and I was in Turkey. Three countries this
Colby,
year
are you
alone. I
saying that
travel all
colorism
over.
doesn't exist?
Okay, just let me just give you my point. My point is that there's such a big deal of colorism in the United States. Why do we have so many successful Nigerians and Africans, doctors, intellects? I think the whole state of Atlanta elected like 7 Nigerians to Congress. So if this is the place where it holds dark skinned people back, you look at our press conference. Corinne Jean Pierre, the Haitian lady that speaks for Biden, that's another dark skinned woman. We have Katanji, who is Jamaican heritage, who just got nominated to the Supreme Court, who is dark skinned. Clarence Thomas, who is dark skinned. Actually, we don't have no light skinned people on the Supreme Court. So at the end of the day, we're going to have to make up our mind. If this is the place that holds people back, then why is this the place where we have the most successful, educated Africans in the whole world? And
Those
I
are the
go all
exceptions,
over
not the
Europe,
rule,
and they're not
Colby.
successful there. Huh?
That's the exception, not the rule. There. Okay, so if we're talking if we're talking about examples, right? There is a reason that they have done studies where a person puts their house up for sale, and when they have
That's
pictures
racist.
of black
That's not
people
colorism.
in that house, the house is valued at less.
That's racism.
Those
That's not
things
colorism.
occur. Racism
Those are
and colorism, those things are real.
they're
You
not
do,
they're
I mean,
not
you
the
have
same
to
thing though.
acknowledge that. Like, there are things, there are glass ceilings, and it's not just for black people. There was a glass ceiling for women as well. These things do exist. There's a reason that a woman could do the same job as a man, and studies show she's going to make less money. The same rule applies
That's
for
not
colorism.
colorism
There
though.
are
That's
things,
sexism.
there's a reason that a dark-skinned black woman will be cast as the sassy friend, and a lighter-skinned woman is going to be cast as a love interest. Those things exist. Now, maybe they're not as prevalent or in your face as they
Men,
were from the 50s or 60s, but those things still exist. Now,
men's dark
whether
skin and African people do so well here. They're actually taking our roles for black actresses and actors. The rise of, you look at Black Panther and the rise of Africans in Hollywood over the past 5 years. Are you kidding me? Like, oh my
those
God,
are
from
the
some dude that
exceptions,
played
those are not the
black.
rule.
Okay, but I pointed to you in politics. I pointed to you in medicine. I pointed to you in Hollywood where they are succeeding. Where is the colorism? See, and another thing when we're talking about colorism, we're usually talking about another black person. Another powerless black person cannot be racist. Racist is associated with power. If you don't have the power, then you just giving me your opinion at the end of the day. Now, when you're talking about jobs and opportunities and discrimination based on that, I feel you. But if we're talking about personal individuals who may like this person or whatever, all I know is I know many dudes that are Italian, that are Jewish, they can love blonde haired, blue eyed women. They don't have Jewish women or Italian women telling them, you don't like your own people. You hate yourself. You like blonde haired, blue eyed women. You know what I mean? So other men of other cultures can date whoever they want to, and then we're not even dating them. We can just make a comment and then we get attacked. But let's just move on off this and say this for the color of the show and move back to this episode.
Okay, let's change
basically,
directions, Colby.
yeah,
Let's change
exactly.
directions. Let's
Right.
talk about your girl Giselle.
Okay.
We
All right.
have had conversations where we talk about her trying to dismantle families, right?
hmm
You did hear that nobody said that that man touched Ashley's friend. She didn't even allude to it. We saw the flashback. Giselle put that out there, and they all ran with it. What do you think specifically about your girl lying on this boy because she doesn't like Candace?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a lie. I mean, I don't know what happened because I
We
haven't
saw
heard.
now, Colby. You're very
So
direct.
maybe I should act like y'all then and just debate the issue and just play the. Oh, I don't know. Like, what happened? Like,
That's
maybe I
what
should act.
Giselle did. She said she didn't know, and they Ashley had to say no. I showed you exactly what he did, and Giselle still said no. That's what I heard. She didn't hear that. She just lied because she doesn't mind dismantling marriages because she's unhappy and has not ever had a real one.
The same way that Candace spread rumors about Karen's marriage last week, the same reason
What
that
Candace
Wendy
said
made rumors up
specifically was
about
what
G
Giselle
in
had
front of a
said
table
to
full
her.
of people. I'm just saying, last week, Wendy's now poor Karen been with her husband 30 years. We saw poor
I thought
Ray.
you didn't know nothing, Colby. You just
I'm
said you
just
don't know
saying, poor
nothing. Now
Ray.
you know some
The
things.
last the last time they saw Ray at the party they were all laughing. He was smiling, looking at the girls. The next week, here goes Candace. You know Karen cheating on him and saying it on TV. So again, y'all can't play with both roles. And then here we go. Now, if Wendy would have just attacked Mia, that would have been fine. But she started bringing G up. She said, "And you and your husband go to bed with other men." And then she stood up and she's like, "Make me do something." See that aggressive behavior, and then when people say that she's aggressive, they want to call us color. She stood up and was like, "Do something." Mia was sitting down.
So you
She was
can't
standing
defend
up, all
yourself, is what
bossed
you're
up with her.
saying.
She was bossed up, bro. She was standing up all over her, like, "Do something."
This
Get up.
woman assaulted her. At that point, I think
I'm
you
just
have
saying,
carte
could you
blanche
imagine
to
our
respond.
Garcelle doing that? Could you imagine
Okay.
our Haitian queen doing that? Never.
Okay.
Never.
So, Colby, I'm
That's
going
a
to tell you
difference.
the same thing I told the last caller because you definitely have a different point of view. When I do my colorism talk, I would love to have you on there because I unequivocally disagree with you and your stance, but I would still like to be able to allow you to voice your opinion because it's different, right?
Correct. And
So-
I'm going to say, too, that men experience colorism as well. And I don't like the way that some people are trying to act like men don't experience it. And it's just, so yeah, I'm ready for that show when you have it. I'm ready for it.
So you're saying you do agree that colorism exists. You just don't believe it exists on this show.
Exactly. And I think it exists on a very small level. Again, it does happen, but on a very small level. It's not what everyone is saying because I can point to you where I see very successful, dark-skinned people who are educated. There are deans and bosses and engineers here in LA. I look at this every day, so it's not holding them back. So at the end of the day, we have to see which narrative are we going to go with. And we have all these African people here being successful.
That's a very select few of people that you specifically know.
That's
You're
not
generalizing
true, man.
based on your social group, and you can't.
Every African that I know is educated out here that I know, and they have good jobs. I'm saying it doesn't matter how they look as dark as you can even imagine. And they are successful, they are educated, they are doing well, they live in multi-million-dollar homes. So for me, I just can't listen to the BS. And if you look at some of the most successful people in the United States, their test scores are some of the highest. They are achieving in all areas. So let's not pretend like, and they're way black
in all areas does not mean that they have not experienced colorism. So, just because somebody is successful does not mean that they have not experienced colorism.
Okay. And everyone experiences colorism. But I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on to say that for the show and move back to
yeah, definitely, because I do have to revolve the panel. Exactly. Jasmine says colorism has been in existence since the house slave and the field slave. Colorism exists. This is a dangerous dialect. But Jasmine, thank you so much for the super chat. What I like to say is on my channel, we address these things. Like I said, I enjoy Colby. We do not agree on most things, but I like having him up because he does have a difference of opinion, and everybody on my platform is free to have that, whether I agree or disagree. But I do have like a full backstage. Thank you so much, Colby, as always. And do you follow me on Instagram?
No.
Follow me on Instagram and make it.
I do follow you on Instagram. Yes, I do.
DM me because I want to make sure that I can have you and I think her name was Mika on the show, and on that panel.
Okay, for sure.
All right, thank you, Colby. What's up, Ms. Green?
Later.
Hi, how are you?
I'm tired.
I like the rotation.
Angry.
Yeah, same. So I'll try to keep it short. I tried to make some bullet points so I could stick to my point because I tend to go on tangent away from what I wanted to speak about. But I'm gonna start with Mia just overall being messy, because I feel like that was the catalyst that made everything happen afterwards. So first and foremost, she has no business even involving herself in any comms that Peter and Wendy may or may not have involving their proposed business deal. If she would have just stayed in her place and not tried to instigate it and get an answer out of Wendy, who, by the way, does not owe her that answer, then it wouldn't have escalated. So, like, she should have just stayed to herself. That was my issue, because if she just would have been quiet, it wouldn't have happened. Also, her embarrassing Jacqueline. Like, I know you laughed when I said justice for Jacqueline, but this is what I meant. So I could see where the buildup started, right? Because this was filmed in May, and I think Mia and Jacqueline started having social media beef. What was this? August? Later in the year. That's your childhood friend, right? You lived in her house.
I was about to say, childhood friend, they gave you a place to stay.
Yes, your parents took, exactly. Her parents took you in. You're going to go on a show, embarrass her about not having toiletries and asking you things, when in reality, y'all probably share a lot, if you know what I mean. So that wouldn't be the first time you probably shared toiletries. So why are you going to take it upon yourself? Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you're going to go to Giselle and Ashley, because to me, Mia is the ultimate pick-me, just to embarrass your friend and make her look like she just doesn't have anything when she was probably relying on you because you've done it before. So I just thought that was very distasteful, and I don't like that she did.
Horrible. It is one
I would never embarrass my friend like that on national television.
Into money and they forget where they came from.
Right.
Very good about trying to project an image of wealth and success, and I'm better than you, when in actuality, we don't know anything about you. We don't know what you do in that boardroom.
Right. And
we now know that those companies were actually built by G and his brother in their partnership, not Mia, as she likes to purport. But okay, continue, Ms. D. Green.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I did not like it. I don't know much about Jacqueline, but principle stands. If I brought my friend on the show that I've had in my life for 10 or more years, I would treat it just like I would treat my sister. I would never embarrass her like that, just for production or whatever. What Burley 09 said about
part of it is, I'm getting you on this show and now you really need to kiss my behind.
It could be, and if that's the case, that's even worse, because you're new. You're still new. Like, you're just a second season person. You're not even considered a veteran yet. So if you're smart, you would team up with your friend instead of trying to go against her.
Did you see the crack, though, when Jacqueline was talking about Mia, and she said, you know, if we had not grown up together, we probably wouldn't be friends?
I did see that, because Jacqueline shouldn't have did that either. Now, I understand she might have just been trying to be honest, but she's too new to know that doing that you're shooting yourself in the foot. So I wouldn't have done that either, because it's all about optics, and the viewers will see something and will perceive it one way. So you need to be smart and not be speaking like that about your friend to someone that you just met as well. It wasn't as bad, in my opinion, as Mia trying to embarrass her and talking to her that way. But I was like, all right, whatever. I understand. I didn't like it. And then Burley 09, his comment about bringing someone in that, is educated, or her, I don't know if it's a his or her, bringing someone that's a little bit more educated on the whole discussion around colorism, because I agree. I feel like if you're going to have that topic, you need to have a mix of people who are passionate about it and people who can be objective and well-informed, because I listened to a couple of those conversations and I heard some things that I didn't like, because I have a biracial daughter and I live in the state of Georgia, right? Almost 60% white. When she's with her dad, she's viewed a certain way. When she's with me, she's viewed a certain way. So I have to protect my child. Whether people want to see her as Black or not, she's my Black child and I have to protect her. So I didn't agree on a lot of the comments, because I'm like, when did we start? Like, before recently, we were including everyone. Now we're dividing more and more. It's like, that's what they want us to do. They want us to divide within each other and isolate each other. That's what I liked when Diva came on. It made her comment during that one conversation, but we won't go there. I'll stick to the topic. So, and then speaking of colorism, I feel like it's more than colorism. I feel like there are multiple variables as to why Robin and Giselle don't like Wendy. It's obvious they're still bitter about last season. That's what it boils down to me. And they need to get over it. And then Wendy, I'm team Wendy, but I was torn because while she did get a drink thrown on her and Mia was pushing it, Wendy should have done the classy thing because that's what I would have done. And I would have just shut up after I proved my point. There was no reason for her to keep going on and on and on. She's already shown that she's an ass, pardon my French. She's already shown that she's being messy. She's already shown that she can articulate her words and she cannot hold a candle to you and go toe to toe. Why would you keep saying things to upset her? You've already proven that you're the stronger one.
So you felt like Robin was right. She was antagonizing her.
Partially, yes. I was like, oh, why is she making me agree with Robin? Because I would have shut up. She's already made herself look stupid. And once she threw the drink, I mean, I've practically won at that point. So why do I need to keep stooping down to her level? You get what I'm saying?
I kind of said the same thing about Candace with the fight that she had with Giselle and Ashley. They have victimized you. Allow the viewer to rally around you. You don't have to go so hard after they have victimized you. You stated your point. We sided with you.
Right. It was like, be quiet.
In terms of Wendy, if you want to antagonize or gaslight somebody and then put your hands on you, in my opinion, you have free reign to do so, ma'am.
I feel you.
If she wanted to get up and hit Mia, she would have been well within her right to do so. If she wants to antagonize her and make her look like a clown, then go for it.
Yeah,
and she made them all look like clowns. When she got up and told Giselle, well, you were anti-violence when it came to Monique.
Yes,
that was
love
a mic
that.
drop.
I was, and that's why I'm still on her side. I just, with Potomac, I can be a little bit less emotionally vested as I was with Garcelle on Beverly Hills because there's obviously it's not equal over there. Whereas, this is a cast of my sisters, so I can give my opinion a little bit more freely and not feel like I have to, emotionally back one more than the other. But yes, I did agree with that.
Woman. I say exactly what I want about any of these casts.
Oh no, you already know how I feel about Garcelle on Beverly Hills. I'm like, I gotta back that up. We always complain we ain't got enough of us on TV. I am not gonna be one to tear one down on the cast where she's the only one. So that's just my opinion. But yes, I understand. And I was agreeing with Wendy when she said that. The only reason I said Wendy was antagonizing Mia is because I got mad at Candace for the same thing. I justified Monique going off on Candace and getting physical with her because Candace kept running her mouth. So I was just like, oh, I'm torn because I'm the type of person, that's how I am. That's how I get petty. I disengage and I make you look stupid. I just feel like Wendy should have did that.
Disengage though, Ms. D Green, because her job is on the line, right? You already have people not wanting to film with you. She needs to have a moment on the show because they will get rid of her, right? Like if she's not consistently working and they're disinviting her to events and stuff like that, and the show realizes they don't need her. So I don't blame her for sitting right there and finishing that scene.
You're talking about
in real life, would I? No, I probably would have had a fight. But I gotta revolve this panel. Thank you so much, Ms. D Green.
No problem.
If I open up the phone lines on that show, you could definitely call in and talk about your experience of having a mixed child and, some of the things that you've heard that you like and did not like as it relates to that. I want to have
I would hope so. When I'm listening to people, I could talk about this show, but my life stuff that I'm real more passionate about, and I know people may not be on the same wavelength. I'm not going to go there because I probably would get angry, and I don't want to get like that because it's like, how can you not see that? That's what they want us to do. They want us to be divisive and find additional things to other one another within our community, because anyone that's not a person of color is going to see us as Black no matter what. So why not band together and try to protect one another, regardless if you feel like, one person is being representing the race and they shouldn't be. Look, you need to take that up with mainstream media, not with each other.
I think if you hold a bias and you're not aware of it, then talking about it.
Not angry off of shows, DCW, the colorism issue. Please listen, you're smart. Sorry.
Yeah, I think if somebody has a bias and they're not aware of it, like with the Ashley thing, and she came out and said she's not, I think the appropriate response is, well, where did you see it? And I want to make sure that I'm not, oh, that's not me. But I gotta revolve the panel. Thank you so much for coming up, Misty Green. I always appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right, take care. Bye.
Have a good one. Hey, Judgy.
Hey, long time no see.
It's been
I always
a minute.
miss these. I'm not usually up at this hour. But yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Really, really quick, because I got a couple super chats. It says, can you answer the question and stop gaslighting us? That was for Colby. I hope that by the end of that conversation, you guys maybe understood what he said, or at least I made a point that, countered his point well enough.
I think you did a great job.
Agree, but I love having him on the show. Thank you so much for the super chat, Effie. And I got one more. I see. I'm trying to get to all of them. Mods, if I miss any, please let me know. I don't want to miss anybody's super chats. Ali says, I have a biracial child and she is biracial. She and I will never share the same experience as a Black woman. When her hair is straight, most people view her as white. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for the super chat, Miss Ali. And I think I will be able to tackle this conversation, especially if I get the people on my panel who are all shades, who've had all different experiences, and we can kind of just come together and discuss it. Maybe people aren't subject matter experts, but they can give you their experience as a lighter complected or darker complected, or, things that have happened to them due to colorism. So thank you so much for that super chat. Judgy, take it away.
Okay. So first I want to lead off with the whole colorism conversation. I think, to start that conversation off, people need to understand where it comes from. And it comes back to when the colonization period was going on with the world, because it didn't just, affect African Americans here as slaves. It affected India, it affected China, it affected South America. There are people that are in Asian countries, they wear, the umbrellas and stuff so they don't get tan. They have people who, because again, when you listen to what happened in those islands, it was brutal. And you would see the person of like the darker complexion being brutalized. That's why a lot of them, denounce any type of Afrocentric, traits, because they know that lightness comes from, a lord or a noble who had, slept or took advantage of your mother. And that you have noble blood.
Really quickly, I know we've been on this colorism topic, but we gotta
I was gonna make that like real quick and get back to the show. So okay. I think like people keep forgetting that portion of it, because that's where this is rooted in, and that's where this betterness comes from. And once we understand that, then we can understand how it's still affecting us today. But anywho, back to the show. I really like, when Wendy was sitting across from Robin, and Wendy said to Robin, if I would have threw that drink on you, and Wendy was like, Robin was like, no, you wouldn't have done that to me.
You got to deepen your voice.
I'm sorry. Oh, I have to deepen my voice. No, you wouldn't have done that to me. That really stuck to me. That was wrong, And then to see how like Robin, it felt like it was a setup, because Robin knew exactly when this conversation was going that she wanted to record it. She knew, and Mia, played back into her dollar tripper ways, being in the back of a gosh darn Costco parking lot in North Carolina, because I've done the research, I found where it is, and they don't wear long gowns there, and they have like bummed down used car vehicle on a strip mall. That's where that club is. So for her to keep acting high and mighty about things and looking for a show, it shows to me that whatever happened with the company business was happening earlier, and she had to secure her check here by any means possible. Because she knows that, her and Gordon don't have that much going on. And for her to say that Wendy is lying about this whole having a third when she said that she would watch in her first season, last season, she would watch Gordon pleasure another woman and be drinking in the room. So it ain't too far to stretch to think that y'all be doing all types of 3s, 4s, 5s with other people.
Did you find Gordon sexy when he was telling Karen, "Ooh, baby, what did he say? Oh, girl, you look so good." Was that sexy?
I don't think that is. I think it's like forceful. It's something like, when you, I think it's a kind of a, a Darby thing to do, because, you have money, so you can pay someone to be quiet, or you can court them. Like, if they take you for civil damages or something, you can have them tied up in like attorney's fees for you could have them tied up in court for years, decades, because when you're battling with someone, people forget, you have to think about not only how strong your case is, but also who is you going up against. If I'm going up against Kim Kardashian and I'm a small business owner, it's going to be a little bit harder financially for me to keep up with it, because she has 70 people to maybe my 2-person team, that are working around the clock, trying to make it difficult, sitting in memos, doing this, having to answer this. So again, it's a manipulation with Gordon. I think he's nicer than, Mr. Darby, but I don't think he's in the same boat, with the way they act accordingly. And the fact that he would dishonor his wife by being with the woman on the beach shows exactly how lowbrow he would be in the sand. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much, Junji. Oh, the fact that she was a mistress just is the icing on the cake with Mia. Thank you so much for coming up. Hopefully we'll see you again next week, Judgy. Tamara, you're up.
Hey, hi, Mims. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks
Where you
for
at
having
with this
me up.
episode? I know we've been we've been all over.
What do I think about this episode? I'm going to start off. I'm tired of the colorism thing, but I'm going to say one thing. Robin might as well be Rachel Dolezal. Robin is 59% white. And I'm going to say this. There were towns in the South, because I knew a few people when I lived in New York, that told me they were disowned because they chose to marry dark-skinned men. Okay? So Robin reminds me of one of those women who came from those families who made it very plain and clear. You better not go too black. Okay? Keep it light, close to white. That's what Robin reminds me of. And that's why I say she's 59% white. Because someone who's biracial is just that, biracial, 2 races. Robin's family has specifically chosen to keep it just the way it is. And I'm going to say that I don't care about civil rights, all that, because if you remember, that is an elitist mindset. Though it's a group of people who are very elitist. Thank you for the integration and the perpetration of our slavery to a capitalist society. Thank you so much so y'all can get these great positions and look your nose down like your boy that was up there talking all that mess about the Nigerians and making all this money. Well, what about the millions in their country who are suffering? So please miss me with that. Okay, but I'm going to move on, because please don't come up here talking about who's doing great and who's not doing great. We're talking about straight up Black women, or people who perpetrate being Black, who are using their proximity to whiteness to look down on others. And when they come against a sister such as Wendy, who, whether you like her or not, you cannot refute the facts. She is highly educated. She is very much married to a lawyer. She has children. She has been on CNN as a commentator. She is a professor. I do not have to like you to respect your accomplishments. And their jealousy is so apparent. Let's look at it. Wendy's younger, beautiful skin. They make a beautiful family. See, they have the nerve to want their children to look like them. Okay? Wendy is confident. They keep saying she's insecure because they're trying to make her think she's insecure, because they're insecure with Wendy. Wendy is Nigerian. And one thing you can say about Nigerians, they like their children to look like them. Okay? Yeah, they've been colonial, but for the most part, Nigerians marry Nigerians. They like themselves. They're proud of who they are. Okay? Giselle, I call her, and Robot are 2 of the most disgusting examples of middle-aged Black women I have ever seen. Okay? They're bitter Betty.
What the hell?
Tearing down other Black women. I am disgusted I'm disgusted. I hope Robin gets the boot. You see what happened to her with her husband? Well, her ex-husband, which is the weirdest thing anyway. You see what happens? That's karma. Nobody has to do anything to Giselle and Robin. They're going to die alone. Okay? And if they get a young boy, he's going to use him to come up, and then he's going to discard them. Okay? So let's start with Robin being a black woman. All that. I can't take it anymore. I can't. And her Giselle was the head of a church, the mother of the church. Are you kidding me? Her husband was a cheating dog, had multiple babies, and still didn't want her in the end. He still didn't want her. Jamal is here in Atlanta with me, living it up. If he's in Atlanta, he damn sure don't want Giselle. He does not. All this money and natural bodies out here, he don't need her. Nobody wants Giselle. She's stuck in the 80s. She thinks it's the 80s. It's 2022. Nobody wants you, Giselle. Sharice is tired. That man waited till that kid hit 18 and he was out. He never called her again. He don't like her. He doesn't like her. Karen, that's my girl. She get on my nerves. Ashley, I don't know. But that colorism is real. And it goes another side. I'm a dark-skinned woman. I have seen light-skinned women walk in the room and the dark-skinned women say, I don't like her. She didn't say one word. She was just light-skinned. So that's just plain old ignorance. But I'm hella pissed. And I'm glad Wendy did not hit her because she was not worth it. Mia tried it. She pushed. She just pushed her way into Wendy's life. And she got shut down like the ignorant trash that she is. Her and her trifling husband. Please bring a scholar back with her handsome husband and her beautiful children because that's what I want to see. I don't want to see a bunch of broke down, middle-aged, bitter Bettys trying to come for the young black queens. That's all I got.
Well, thank you so much, Tamara. Hopefully we see you next week. Hopefully
not if that man is on your panel, because I work with people like him too much. See, I work with people like him. I can't take him. He irked me so bad. He's probably has a little bit of money or he's maybe adjacent to money, but he's delusional.
Okay, Tamara. We can't do that. I hear what you're saying. I definitely understand, but that's the spice of life, right? Having a difference of opinion and being able to respectfully say it to one another is, what this channel is all about, right?
Okay. It's your channel. It's your channel, Mims. I have to respect the man. I love your channel. I love your show. I love your energy and your spirit. No disrespect. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Hopefully I do see you again. You're very funny, Tamara.
Of course.
All right, bye. Okay, Elise and then Miss Rachel.
Hey, Mims, you said it right. My name's Elise. I found you because you used to be in Nikki's comments and stuff. So that's how I found you and your channel.
Nikki
Love you
Starr?
and your content. Yeah, Nikki Starr.
I love her. I'm gonna try to invite her to my colorism panel.
That would be good. But yeah, I found you in the comments. Love you and your channel. Okay, the whole part of the episode before the dinner, irrelevant. Y'all saw how Mia was the one getting violent, right? Y'all saw how Mia was trying to insert her mess. Mia was trying to insert herself into the mess. Mia was trying to insert herself into Wendy and Patricia's business. And Wendy's over here like, I don't have beef with no man. If you got beef, you can address Eddie. And then that's when Mia started to pick it up because she's like, oh, no, we're not going to do this. And that's when she started to get all loud and stuff. And it's crazy to me how this lady tried to make Wendy look like the crazy one when she's the one with 6 broken nails, all bloody, her purse all over the place. And then did y'all look at it? And then did y'all see how Wendy called her, pointed out how she has more craters in her face than the moon? And then that kind of sent her over the edge. She's like, I'm gonna get her. And then she's out here hitting people in the head with the purse. And it's crazy how, Robin was all like, you're antagonizing her. You're antagonizing her. But my thing is, she was defending herself. How is that antagonizing somebody when she's defending herself? Mia put herself in some shit that had nothing to do with her. Wendy came back at her with the words, but she can't keep up. Her and Monique, I can see how they get along because they can't keep up with the words. They got to, resort to violence. And it was crazy for me to see, Giselle and Jacqueline and Robin rally against that. And it's like, it's crazy. And then
So
Charisse.
now you're for violence, basically.
Right. And then Charisse gonna sit there and kind of co-sign that stuff too. And it's like, truth be told, don't nobody at that table, ain't nobody seeing it for Charisse. She's just clinging on, trying to get back on this show. That's why Karen shut that down. She's like, nope, we're not doing this. We're not having this conversation. We're not making no storyline out of me. So I'm as for the colorism conversation, y'all got it. Y'all got it. I have nothing to contribute to that. But that's all that I really got to say. I truth be told, I might just have to watch y'all's reviews because watching that episode, it was violent for no reason.
Y'all saw I was heated. I'm usually a lot more subdued on my reviews. I was actually hot. So thank you so much.
Violent, but that's all I got. Love you. I'll be back.
Your first time on my channel, definitely come back. I always, drop the link for reviews like this because I want to hear what you guys have to say.
All right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back to the chat. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right, bye. Miss Rachel, you're up. What'd you think of the episode?
Oh my gosh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
OMG. I am light skinned with green eyes. They give us a bad rep, okay? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I am a 53-year-old woman, okay? So we are not like that. All of this colorism and all, yes, it is true. We got to keep it real, but that boiled down to really just character. And I am from Baltimore County. I do remember Giselle years ago, like when she was in her probably early 30s or late 20s. Her character is still the same. She's always been that way. And I'm a light-skinned woman with light eyes, and she still carried it like she was better than somebody else.
Before the show.
Huh?
You're saying you knew Giselle before the show?
Oh, absolutely. I knew Jamal Bryan, her husband. I knew him before he married her. They called off the wedding. I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole. Get into it. That's a whole nother. You don't even want to know.
Okay.
Just know that
Giselle. So you feel like the character she portrays on the show is who she is in real life because you know her in real life.
What? Jamal used to, when my childhood church, we used to get Jamal to preach for our youth day before he actually got big. He was not raised that way. Jamal had phenomenal parents. His grandfather was the pastor of, it's called Bethel AME Church, very well-known church. Just people of, as a matter of fact, like I said, I'm 53 years old. Jamal's aunt, his father's sister, she used to take me to church with her when I was 12 years old. I gave my life to Christ by going with her to church. Jamal and his sister, they were little kids just like me. He was not raised that way. He wasn't raised to be a womanizer and all of that. Long and short, you grow up, you do what you do. It was always messy. Their relationship was always messy. Here in Baltimore, some of the things he did, and I don't want to put it out there. It's not like it's a secret. My point is, Giselle has always had this air about her, even being, I don't even want to give her the title as a mother of a church because she never carried it like that. Yes, she was the first lady because she was married to Jamal. But as far as being the first lady, no. Just as y'all seeing her, that's how she actually is. She doesn't care about nobody but her. It's more of a narcissistic personality. I hate to say it, but she cares. It ain't about dark, light, or whatever. Anybody who comes against her or she's not shining, it's a problem. It's a problem. That's why Jamal is in Atlanta, and that's why he's doing his thing. Another story. Long and short, she was wrong. Robin was wrong. They got some kind of connection because they're light skinned with green eyes. That's it. They have no real substance to the relationship. And it's just a matter of time before they're going to turn on each other. Wendy, with her husband being a lawyer, what are you going to do? She has too much to lose. And she is a good representative for women of color at Johns Hopkins Hospital. I don't know anybody who knows Johns Hopkins Hospital, very well-known institution all over the world. So for her to be representing on that level and so many other levels, anybody who knows Nigerian, they are different from Americans. They do care about what they have to lose. Now, could she have not engaged? Sure, usually you shouldn't engage with narcissists, but I get it. Can I say that I would sit there if I'm not expecting? Who's going to think somebody's throwing a drink in your face? Nobody's going to think you're going to throw a drink in their face. Your first natural instinct is to let me slap the crap out of you. However, she's good with words, so she broke her down with words. And a lot of people like Mia cannot handle that. They want to jump up. They want to fight. Did nobody cause that girl to lose her damn nails but her? All broken up and all of that. That came from her. Self-infliction. Wendy didn't break your nails. She should feel like a fool. That's why she was crying, because she knows she made a fool out of herself. And Wendy got the best of her with her words. The only thing Robin could do, because she ain't got no damn storyline anyway, don't get me started on her, was to pull out a camera that you're really not even supposed to do. She's wrong because she didn't have permission to tape her. So that meant absolutely nothing for her to do that. So at the end of the day, Wendy, to me, she held her composure, because that's very tough. You know, she wanted to get up and slap the crap out of that child, out of Mia. Not to mention the joint. Let's talk about the businesses. Wendy got into that business by being married to Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon and his family, his sister, things like that. There's I have one of their locations that's in my neighborhood, down the street, called The Joint, chiropractic place. She's in it by marriage. It's not like she started it. She's a marketing person. She got in on her back with Mr. Gordon. Whatever they have in their real relationship, that's them. However, she's just doing the most, and you can tell when somebody's not used to anything because you act like that, and it's really embarrassing. She's a little younger. She's not in her 50s like we are, but she's old enough to know better. That's absolutely ridiculous, and she should be ashamed of herself, as well as Giselle and her old ass. She needs to sit down somewhere, because she's been doing that shit for years. I'm over her.
Hold on, Miss Rachel. Y'all are coming in hot tonight.
She's been doing that for years. I remember her plain as day. She treat all black women like that. I'm light skinned with light eyes.
She was.
Wear my hair short now, but back in the day it was longer. But because I'm menopausal, just like her ass, you need to stop. You need to stop. It's not cute, and you're giving us a bad rep. Stop it. It's ridiculous. My eyes are just as green as her damn eyes, and I don't act like that.
Miss Rachel, you have to come back next week.
I'll be back, but she needs to get dragged. I'm over her.
And you did.
I'm sick of her and Robin. They are giving us a bad rep. We don't act like that. They got issues. Juan don't want Robin. She needs to don't even start with compensate what they got going on there. It's a lot.
Don't do that. I already showed y'all. Ron and Robin are very passionate.
Yeah, passionately separated. That's what they are. Passionately separated.
Thank you so much, Miss Rachel.
You're welcome.
The chat is definitely love you. See you next week.
Peace out.
Okay, we got Mina and then Richie B, and then Effie's gonna close us out. Where are you at, Mina? With this episode.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm on. Everybody already said it. I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. I think this was your first time calling in, right?
I'll be back.
All right, thank you. Hey, Richie, where you at with this episode?
I want to say that I think it's obvious to me that Giselle and Robin put a battery in Mia's back. For Mia to come in so hot and strong, it's like she got their approval. And you see, like at the end when she was trying to leave, and they were like, "Oh, you're not leaving." Just in the beginning of the season, they were calling her stupid, and they didn't want about her cancer story, and now she's their best friend. Like, get out of here with that. Like, that's so obvious to me.
But they bet on the wrong one, right? Because she couldn't handle it. Wendy
she's
only
on their
rat-a-tat a little bit, and Mia lost it.
But she's their mouthpiece so they don't have to catch so much heat. Because Mia's used to getting cussed out. Last year they got rid of Monique through Candace, and now they're using Mia. I don't know. She probably won't be successful. She's no match for Wendy, like you said. But they're using Mia, her simple self.
I mean, they're also throwing in Charisse to that, because Charisse was trying to pick a fight with Wendy for no reason too.
Was she?
Yeah. When right before Karen and Charisse got into it, she was like basically going after Wendy because of a conversation her and Wendy had where she just said, what do you feel about Karen? And do you feel like it is genuine, or, even if it's from a bad place? She was just asking the question. I don't think that Charisse is coming from a good place with Karen. I think Charisse is coming from a place of desperation. She needs this show, so she needs to have interactions with Karen. Wendy is her friend. That's an open dialogue that you would have with your friend. I think that she just wants to go after Wendy because, just like she was in that conversation and she was like, I'm no Wendy. Right. You don't have a professorship at an Ivy League school. You married some man who kept you in the lifestyle till he was broke, and now neither one of you guys have money, and you're still living with heirs. You're not Wendy, because Wendy and her husband work outside the show.
And also, I feel like Charisse, she's like operating under like how Housewives used to be back when she was on it, and the tactics she may have used, the whole, I have to get a new room, I have to get a new hotel suite, my travel agent, and Karen, she's trying to spray Karen with this thing. Nobody even cares if it's true or not. Like, who gives a there's so much other stuff going on, and she's just corny to me, and they could just really cut her out and we wouldn't even notice. Honestly, she's not bringing anything, but she keeps like with this thing with Karen, and Karen is really paying her dust. But I also wanted to say that, I'm not going to go in on I'm so sick of the colorism thing, but I'll talk about optics of the light skin brigade having beef with the two dark skinned women on the cast. But if you notice, to me, the thing that they all have in common is like they're all underachievers. So are they jealous? Well, we all know like there's some jealousy there, but I think it's really jealousy. And also, Wendy has cussed each and every one of them out, ungodly. There's that too, but maybe Candace too a little bit. But I feel like,
you know what? I think you're onto something, Richie. Like, really, I had never thought about that. Karen married into money and did not per se have a job. I'm not saying that being a stay-at-home mom isn't a job. I'm just saying did not have a career outside of the home. Giselle, same thing. Monique, same thing. Candace came in with businesses, even if her mom did pay for them.
Mother is rich, so she gets.
Well, I mean, she came in with businesses. But yeah, the majority of this cast they did not have a career outside of the home. That's interesting.
Look at tonight, right? The two women who were on Wendy's side, they didn't say too much, were Ashley and Karen, who have husbands, even though Ashley's playing with her divorce. They're fine. They have. Ashley is content with being Mrs. Michael Darby. That's an accomplishment for her, considering where she comes from. Karen,
The tent.
Exactly. She came all the way up. And but then if you look at Mia, she has to sleep with this decrepit old man to get what she needs. She has to have threesomes and sex on the beach in front of people and like literally show her ass to get what she wants from G. I guess she's made a life for herself. Whatever. Who else? Robin, Juan does not he's not attracted to Robin, and it's almost like it pains him to talk to her sometimes. Just interact.
No, they're very passionate. I keep telling you guys, they're very passionate.
And Giselle, that's not even. It's like the basketball players that got hoop dreams deflated. Like she had dreams of being first lady, Mrs. Jamal Bryant, and it's just she lives in a barn now, and she had all her children have like 10 other siblings, and she probably doesn't get them as child support, and she can't even afford to get her like neck tightened up.
Oh my
So like
God.
she's like no on some real shit. Like she should be able to get. She's been on this show long enough to be able to get you. When we watch Housewives, I want to see the girls. I want to see fashion. I want to see expensive houses, cars, trips.
You
I
mean
want
you
to.
don't like these fashions?
That don't even look like Fashion Nova. That looks like one of those other little sites, that's on Instagram. You
Oh,
got
like AliExpress?
to keep it right. I don't want to see Charisse up. I could, walk outside and see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see women who don't have to work, who can work out 10 times a day, and get the fat sucked out, whatever. My point is, like, Giselle doesn't even have that. She don't even have a nice car, I don't think. But
She has a
they're
Range
all
Rover.
coming after Wendy and Candace, who are accomplished and all right. Candace went to school, even though, and I want to make this point. I know I'm sorry for rambling, but I want us to stop saying with Candace, "Oh, well, your mom," and Giselle does that a lot to her. "Oh, your mom bought you this. Your mom bought you that." But y'all don't say that to like Paris Hilton or any of the Kardashians.
Or her own children. Your dad bought you a restaurant.
How about that? Like, so like let's normalize having, parents who help their children, who let their children, and even as adults, like just still find themselves or whatever. Like I'm tired of this whole thing where, we have a Black woman on there who doesn't know her father or he was in jail. Thanks. Who was in jail her whole life, or she was in foster care, like the Marlos, the Mias, all of these broken families. Like let's normalize, Candace, someone with parents who cares about her, who can buy her a house, whatever her heart desires, like who loves their children. Like so that's not like, I don't look at that as a bad thing, and I wish as a community we would stop looking at that as a bad thing. And
That's
last thing I
fair.
want to say is I'm tired of the light skin hate on this channel. Not this channel, the colorism conversation, really.
I don't think that the colorism conversation is going to go away, because I think people are now more aware of it when they see it. I think we watched these shows 10, 12 years ago and we took things at face value. But now people are subject matter experts on reality TV. People are subject matter experts on colorism, racism,
But a lot of the time,
xenophobia, homophobia. So they're going to call it out when they see it.
But I like someone said, could you have a professional? Because a lot of times I feel like people get up here and they're reliving their childhood trauma, or maybe a light-skinned girl was mean to them a long time ago, and because everything is not all light-skinned women or and I don't like to make people feel like, even when the whole thing where we try to like discount biracial Black women, like they don't have a place in the conversation, or just and I don't like that exclusion, divisiveness. It's just, to me, it's wrong. A biracial person, what are they, Black, white, like they struggle too. So I don't want to get into that. I really don't want to say all that.
Oh yeah, I know. I hear you. Thank you so much for coming up, Richie. I appreciate it.
You can't get mad at, you can't do wrong to somebody. What does Funky Don even say? And tell them how to respond. So for me to throw that drink in Wendy's face, and then for Robin and them to sit up there and act like she was so wrong for heckling her or whatever she was doing, she dug in her ass, and she couldn't hit her back, or she would have been the angry Black B. You know what I'm saying? You can't do wrong to someone and tell them the right way to get angry. No. Then she's saying, oh, when she was talking about my husband, first of all, everyone is talking about your creepy ass husband, number one. And number two, she only said that after the drink was thrown. The thing about the threesomes and stuff, which you already talked on the show, Mia. All you do is like you did like that's all you talk about is how much of a hoe you are. Like that's all you talk about. So
Why did I
now
get a
all of a
Portia?
sudden,
Why did I get a Portia flashback from when Kim went
your
over
whole
there and she was
daughter.
like, "You can't talk about somebody's injured son and they whole daughter." That's what I got from that comment.
I mean, she's talking about sleeping with a married man on the beach in front of people. Like that's normal. Like, or that's to be applauded. And just she was a stripper. Then she's got this girl. I'm pretty sure they've done threesomes too. Like, and then Mia is terrible. But why are you so offended when Wendy brings it up?
Hold on one second. I gotta. Okay, Richie. I gotta rotate out. But thank you so much for coming on, Trent. I
Thank
lost
you
your
for
super
having me.
chat. What did I do with it? Okay. Thank you so much, Richie. I appreciate it. See you next week, or probably see you tomorrow on Gabor.
Okay.
Trent says, what has Wendy achieved since the show? Because let's be real, Wendy's desperately clawing her way to be on the show with the light-skinned women. I'll say this much, Trent. She's achieved more than Giselle because her candle business is still open and every hue only lasted a year. So her candle business would have had to have failed within the first year to get on the level with Giselle. Just saying. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Effie, is it?
Yes, it's Effie. I'm so
Thank
happy.
you so much for being so patient. I'm trying this new
no
evolving
worries.
panel thing so everybody can really get out what they want to say and we're not over talking each other. So please tell me, you are our last caller. Where are you at with this episode?
I actually found your channel through Nikki Star TV. I've been watching a few of your videos. You're doing a great job. I'm so happy
thank
that I'm
you.
able to finally catch a live. So I just had a few things. I'm not going to harp on the colorism thing, but I do think that we all need to get a little bit more educated about this topic. So a few books, I think, for everyone to read. Brown Skin, White Minds. Very good book. The Color of Law is also a really good book if you want to understand and learn more about colorism, because it is very much prominent in our community and it is something that we don't talk about enough. And this season has been very triggering for me because I feel like these women are just, they're giving themselves, they're giving themselves, they have an opportunity to really deal with a lot of these issues that we have in the Black community, but they're feeding into a lot of these stereotypes and it's just really annoying and triggering to watch. But I'm sure you're going to do another panel on it, so I won't go into too much detail there. I will say I am Nigerian and I'm a very proud Nigerian. And one thing I think people don't understand about Nigerian culture is that we are very proud people, and it might come across as being arrogant. It's not arrogance. It's just that our parents kind of instill in us that you have to be the best. The fact that Wendy has 4 degrees, that's like an accomplishment, as a Nigerian parent. You want to be able to talk about how accomplished your children are, that they're in spaces where Black people are not usually in, like they're on CNN, they're writing books, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're going to Ivy League universities. And it's not that where we think that we're better than all Black people, because that's not the case. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're all Black, we're all in the struggle. So it doesn't matter if you're African, you're Haitian, you're American, you're Jamaican, we're all in the struggle together. I just think that Nigerian culture, it's just that from birth, kind of like, the Chinese culture, Indian culture, you are kind of pushed to do all of these big things. Like you have to kind of embody excellence. And I think sometimes Wendy does come across condescending. I don't think she means to do it on purpose. And obviously, I don't know Wendy, but I don't think she means to do it on purpose. I just think that's kind of how she was raised. So that aside,
in all fairness, I do think that they're all a little condescending.
Exactly. I feel like all of them are.
When she had a business that was in Target and Karen's business was still a startup. So all of that prodding that she did, oh, you don't really have a perfume and all that, they can all be condescending. But I think that when education is what you're condescending about, then that's when people draw the line like, oh no, that's too far. But Ashley was condescending when she had that restaurant that she had laid up for to get. While it was going on, she was even condescending to her husband because she thought that this was going to be what she needed to, you know, separate herself from Michael. And when it went bust, all of a sudden she started popping out kids.
I completely agree with you. I feel like that's part of being a housewife. You know, you throw shade, you're condescending, you read your castmates. I think the issue is that when you have people who are really good at reading you, because they might be a little bit smarter than you, it becomes this big issue. Oh, you're rude, you're condescending, you're aggressive. I'm like, no, you're just mad that in this verbal spar, I'm winning and it bothers you. And I think one of your other callers mentioned this. If you want to be honest, Candace and Wendy are probably the most successful women, even outside of this show. They have a lot going on. And the rest of the women really had to marry for wealth. If you really think about it, they married older men, with the exception of like maybe Robin. They married into wealth.
He just married a cheater.
Whereas Wendy and Eddie kind of built their wealth together. Candace came from wealth because her mom, you know, had a very successful business. And I do think that there is a little bit of jealousy. There's a little bit of animosity. And that's why we're kind of seeing these things happen. And then obviously when you add in the whole colorism discussion, I think that's also playing a part into like why, you know, Wendy and Candace are always singled out. But it was really upsetting to watch Mia throw the drink in Wendy's face, because that's just, to me, that's like spitting in someone's face. It's very disrespectful. It's very rude. And I know when Monique and Candace had the fight, they were making a big deal. Oh, this is not Love and Hip Hop. We don't act like this. We don't do this. But Wendy literally got a drink thrown in her face by Mia. That's exactly what happens on Love and Hip Hop. And Andy has made it very clear that he doesn't want the housewives to turn into Love and Hip Hop, but it is turning into Love and Hip Hop because it's like they're getting rewarded for bad behavior. No one is saying anything about the fact that, like, and by no one, I mean like the people on the show, they're not publicly coming out, making statements saying, oh, we don't agree with that. They're extremely silent. I haven't heard anything. If anything, they're doubling down on their hate for Wendy and for Candace. And I feel like Mia came on the show. It's like you want to attack the weakest link. And Wendy didn't have the best first season. And I feel like when Mia came in, if you really go back to the last season that she was on, from day one, she had a problem with Wendy. It was just like, it's like survival of the fittest. I'm going to attack the weakest link. Not everybody's crazy about Wendy. She's an easy read. I can't go after Ashley. I can't go after Giselle and Robin. Let me go after Wendy. And I'm just like, it's just so, it's like you're operating from a place of survival. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like, we're all on the same platform. You don't have to like Wendy, but it's like you want to have a problem with her. Like you brought in that whole Peter situation, which had nothing to do with you. Can we talk about the fact that Peter's business with Wendy had absolutely nothing to do with Mia? You're saying that, oh, she's broke. She, you know, her checks won't cash. Like Mia, your checks aren't cashing right now. Like I don't know Wendy's financial status, but I'm pretty sure she has right now, especially, I'm pretty sure she has more money than you. And even like just listening to Ashley's video, oh, I'm not a colorist, I'm not this, I'm not that. I throw shade equally to all of my castmates. Yes, you do. But I feel like you don't call out the hypocrisy. And that's why people have a problem with you. Because at the end of the day, we're all on the same platform and we all do the same things to each other, but you're only saying that these two people are mean and angry and aggressive. And it's just not fair. And it's making it very hard to like watch the season. And thank God for your reviews, because some episodes I'm like, I'm not even watching it because I know I'm going to get upset. But at least I know that I could dial in or log on and I can hear your reviews about the show.
Effie, I have a very important question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that Karen is going to go to HR with a Band-Aid because she got hit like Quad?
No,
when
she's
Karen
not.
was screaming about she got hit, the first thing I thought about was Quad and this Band-Aid.
You know she's not. You know she's not. Like,
She's
and
gonna
you
go
know,
to HR about that.
Karen is quick to go to HR.
Karen is gonna go to HR claiming some injury and and some type of workman's comp.
Yes, she
'Cause she got
should.
hit.
But
But thank you so much for coming up. I do love Nikki Starr. She is one of my favorites. I'll be tuned into her tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna try to have her on the show. Please come back next week.
I
Effie.
definitely will. This was a great conversation, and I think everyone made really great points in the chat and on the call. I feel like we're all able to agree on some things, disagree on other things, but I think we all see what's happening, and it's kind of refreshing to know that you're not the only person that's watching this and saying, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy."
Now, I'll leave you up while I close out. Y'all, I got all the documents for the Toya Audra fight and to see who was right, who was wrong, who lied. So all these documents, I'm going to be putting together my video. I have a conference call with a realtor or a broker from Georgia who is going to give me the breakdown on how much taxes people pay when they make $1 million via the sale of real estate. So I'm putting that video together. I got all these documents, and I threw in some stuff about Sheree's liens and stuff too. So that will be coming. Hopefully I can get that video out by Tuesday. I'm going to try to get this conversation going with the colorism. I'm going to try to get that panel together with people of every skin tone. We'll see if I have any biracial people who would like to come on and talk about what they go through. The light skin hate like Drake. But I will see you guys. I appreciate you all being here. Like the video on your way out, subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Thank you, Effie. Thank you, everybody who came up on the panel. Thank you, everybody who sent a super chat.
Bye.
Bye.